Hi guys, this is Miss Berlin, and I want to talk to you today about the elements and purposes of dance. I'm going to need you to have this information in your notes because we're going to use it over the next few days as we learn how to analyze different types of dances using some video clips in class. So let's start with a simple definition of dance. If you want to copy the information I have on the board here, I'll go through it and explain what everything means. Dance is the artistic use of movement to communicate ideas and emotions. So that means that dancers are using their bodies to communicate with other people. Now, there are two types of movement that we use every day and that are incorporated into dance. And those two types of movement are locomotor movement and non-locomotor movement. I need you to know what these mean because we'll be using these terms. Locomotor movement is movement that carries the dancer from one location to another, like a locomotive or a train carries cargo from one city to another. Some types of locomotor movement that dancers might use in their dance would be walking steps, running steps, skipping, sliding, or leaping from one place to another. Non-locomotor movement is movement that dancers do where they do not change the location of their body. They're not moving from one place to another. Types of movements that would be considered non-locomotor movements would be things like bending, reaching, twisting, twirling, kicking, or jumping vertically in the air. Okay, let's talk about the three elements of dance now. There are three elements. The first one is space. Space refers to the area, the physical area surrounding the dancer's body. When we talk about space, there are four components that we need to know, and I don't have these written on the board, so you'll have to listen carefully and jot these down. You can pause the video if you need to. But the first component of space is level, and level is talking about, are the dancer's movements high, medium, or low? So high movements might mean that the dancers are jumping up in the air, maybe they're lifting one another off the ground, but they're up high in the air. Medium would be kind of normal level that we normally function on. Low might mean that they are down on the floor crawling, rolling, sliding, any number of things they might do to be low. The second component of space is direction. Direction means exactly what you think it means. It means, are the dancers moving forward, backward, side to side? What direction are they moving in? The third component of space is pathways. Pathways are routes that dancers take to get from one place to another. So some examples might be if a dancer needs to go from one place on the stage to another place, they may go in a straight line, they may curve around the other dancers, they may exit and come in from the other side. There are all kinds of different pathways that a dancer might take to move on the stage. And the fourth component of space is shape. Shape means what shapes are the dancers configured in. If there's more than one dancer, are they maybe standing in a line? Are they in a circle, maybe a triangle, any kind of shape that they're standing in? And then the other part of shape is what shapes are they making with their bodies? Are they making a particular shape with their bodies to try to communicate with the audience? Okay, now that was the first element of dance. Let's talk about the second element, which is time. Time in dance refers to both the duration of the dancer's movement and the speed at which they do the movement. So duration might mean that they are drawing a movement out over several beats, and speed, the tempo, is another word for speed, has to do with how fast that underlying beat that they're moving to or pulse is performed. So it's the duration of the movement and the speed at which they do it. And the third element of dance is force. Force is the last element. And when we're talking about force, we usually use descriptive words, adjectives like sharp, hard, soft, delicate, accented, and what we mean by force is how much energy is the dancer putting into a movement. Is it an accented movement? Is it a gentle movement? Is it smooth? Is it forceful? That's what we're talking about with force. So we'll be looking at those three things as we're watching video clips: space, time, and force. Now, let's talk about for just a moment, why do people dance? What are the purposes of dance? Every kind of dance that people do can be divided into three categories according to what the purpose is. And those three categories on the board are social, ceremonial, and artistic. Let's talk about those one by one. Social dance is dance that's often done in a group, and it's a dance that is purely for recreational purposes. The only reason to do it is just for fun, to express joy and build community and just enjoy being together and dancing together. An example of that would be the wobble or the cha-cha slide or any other kind of dance you do with your friends. The second purpose for dance is ceremonial, and ceremonial dance is dance that fulfills a religious purpose. So these dances are dances where the dancers express their relationship to the divine. An example of this would be in Native American culture. There's a dance called the ghost dance, and in the ghost dance, the dancers believe that they are reuniting their spirit with the spirits of their dead ancestors, and that this dance will bring peace and prosperity and unity to the land. So that's an example of a dance for ceremonial purposes. And finally, the last purpose of dance is artistic. Artistic dance is dance that's meant to be enjoyed by an audience, and the audience watches to observe and appreciate the skill of the dancer. Artistic dance is all about showing off the dancer's skill. And very often, artistic dance involves very intricate and difficult choreography. So an example of artistic dance would be classical ballet, tap dance, jazz dance, anything that's meant to be appreciated by an audience, where an audience would sit in a theater and watch it. So, to summarize, those are the three elements of dance: space, time, and force, and the three purposes of dance: social, ceremonial, and artistic. And you'll need to have those in your notes and be ready for class tomorrow. So I'll look forward to seeing you then. Until then, bye-bye.